if you love Christmas as much as I do, you're not going to want to miss a second of this one. We're going to take a couple of items and we're going to flip them and make them into beautiful decor. Let's start. We're going to make this sign and we're going to use the jingle mold. And this is the new release from IOD. It's a Christmas release. It is limited edition. So if you like this mold, you're going to want to grab it. Now, as you see here, I use some cornstarch. This is just going to help the clay release much easier. I'm using air dry clay, which is IOD mold air dry clay. Once you've smoothed it out and everything, this is the tricky part, but this is important. When you've turned it over, you just gently roll out your casting. And I sometimes just have to put my finger in there and just gently roll it. You can put this in the freezer for 10-20 minutes and that will help that as well. Pulling out my wood glue and I'm going to glue my deer on, and then we're going to actually do a few more other castings from that mold. This is going to look really pretty. Now, I always suggest before you do any kind of painting, anything like that, let this dry overnight. You're going to get best results if you do. And look at that, it's so stinking cute. I love the deers. Anything to do with deers and Christmas, I'm there. All right, so in this same mold, you'll see that we have some bells. We also have another little buck. There's quite a few little things in this one. It's really good mold. Anywho, you want to cast those out. We're gonna glue those on. We're gonna do some painting. This is gonna look fabulous. All the products that I'm using here today can be found on my website, iwanttocraft.com. I will have a link below with a supply list of everything I used today. Once that's dry, I painted the entire board with White Swan, which is a clay-based paint. Then I decided, why not have a pink deer? Of course I'm going to have a pink deer. I used the cottage colors, and we did the pink deer and then the green bells. I'm also going to add this stamp, which is it's from the textured stamp, and honestly it's probably best to do this before you do the clay molds, but it's just the way I did it, and it's okay because I only want a little bit here and there, and that's all I did is I just inked it up and then pressed it on. And then I decided, well, hey, let's put a little bit of that on the deer and see what it looks. And I actually like how it turned out. I think it looks really cool. It makes it look like the deer is even aged and crackled. I just took some sandpaper and I just went over all the areas that I inked up, except the deer, and that just lightens it up a little bit, makes it look more aged. Now we're going to add some clear wax to the entire piece because we're going to come in with some dark wax and age this up and add some shading. So when you take your dark wax, you can use black or brown, and you just go around the edges and push it in here. As you can see, it's very subtle, but it adds some depth and shading to your project. So this next step I call edging out, and I take my ink pad and I just run it on a 45-degree angle just to give some shading to the edges of your project. I'm using brown ink on this, and then you'll see me come in a few minutes with some black ink as well. I took the string off, I didn't like that, and I've added some really pretty lace. We're going to put a bow on here, and we're going to finish this up, and again, I think it's turning out really beautiful. I love using deers at Christmas, but I actually love it year round. Let me know, do you love the deers as much as I do? Tell me I'm not weird. All right, so here's that black ink that we're just gonna go around the edge. Adds another little touch of prettiness. So I got this sleigh at the thrift store. Unfortunately, I deleted the before picture. It had a hand-painted Santa on it, very dated. So what I did was I painted the entire piece in a little black dress, and now I'm painting on the white. Now this is a technique I use where I add the white paint, but I don't go all the way to the edges. That way it gives me an instant distress look. I don't have to do anything else to it. It's actually one of the easiest ways to achieve it. I'm using my baby wipe to rub back some of that black to expose the gray that's underneath, and then that gives it a really nice chippy look because I don't want it to look brand new. I sealed the entire piece with Big Top. Now whenever you're going to be using a transfer, and you're using a chalk type paint, you need to seal it first. Let that sit several hours at least. This is a transfer from IOD. It's called Christmas Valley. It also is a limited edition. When they're gone, they're gone. So grab yours now because they do go fast. I added that on and I took the bird. The bird is also from the transfer. It's so cute, isn't it? I just love adding birds and animals to my decor. I love it. What about you? To finish it off, you can give it another coat of Big Top and let that seal, and then you are good to go. And we've taken a very dated sleigh and turned it into something beautiful. And of course, the emoji today is a deer. Drop the deer in the comments below, and that lets me know that it was you that watched this video all the way to the end. And there's another video on the screen right now if you'd like to see more. And let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite, the deer or the sleigh.